Before I even start this video, I just want to make a disclaimer on this iMac here. Yes, the resolution is not at the native resolution right now. I know that because if you see, this is obviously a CRT monitor and you see those little lines flashing. I know that this is at 640 by 480 and everything is blown up, so don't go in the hate or go in the comments sections being like, you idiot, you have it at the lowest resolution, you can bump it up, because it flashes like that when you have it on the highest resolution. So just so you know, it's at 640 by 480. Things are going to be different on your iMac since your human eyes don't see the flashes. What's up, guys? It's I, the Apple Buyer, here today. I'm back with a brand new video for you all, and today we are going to be doing 5 cool things you can do on your iMac G3 in 2017. Now, obviously, this computer specifically here is a pretty old computer. This computer is called the iMac G3, of course, which means that is based off of the G3 processor, and the whole PowerPC processor lineup in the Macs haven't been used since about 2005. I believe 2005 was the last year. Actually, no, technically 2006 was the last year that any PowerPC Macintoshes were sold. By the way, here is proof that the last Mac that was based off of the PowerPC architecture was sold in 2006. Right here, right here, the Power Mac G5. August of 2006. This is the third model of the iMac G3. If we go into about this Mac, you can see here 10.411, you can see 400 megahertz PowerPC G3 CPU, and then 256 megabytes of RAM, so that's the specs in case you're wondering more info. And we can go into System Profiler, and you will see on here that the model name is this, and that, and Power Mac 2,1. Going back into Mac Tracker here, obviously we go into iMac and then iMac DV. This is the iMac 2,1. Specifically, the Power Mac 2,1 is its model identifier. But anyway, so obviously this is kind of like the mid-tier model, or the high-end model, I should say, the 400 megahertz model. And then with the 13 gigabyte hard drive, or actually, I don't even think the hard drive is 13 gigs. Lols, I lied. Actually, this is a 13 gigabyte hard drive. So the iMac G3 here, I guess this specific model is the high-end model of the iMac 2,1, the maxed out one that is, because obviously it is the one with the 400 megahertz G3 CPU with the biggest whopping 13 gigabyte hard drive, and it also is the one that has the 4x DVD-ROM. The only thing that needs upgraded, of course, is the RAM, but that is like the cheapest thing ever to upgrade, so that's no big deal. Anyway, so you are here to see the whole list, so let's begin with number 1. Now, this is obviously the simplest of all the things you can do with this iMac, but in my opinion, I think this is the number 1, and that, of course, is with iTunes and music. As soon as iTunes launches, of course. Now, when you install 10.4 Tiger on this specific machine here, and you just use iTunes fresh out of the disk, I guess, it will come with iTunes 4, which for some people, including myself, it is perfectly fine since you're just going to be listening to music and maybe CDs and maybe watching videos on the iTunes. If you want to do any kind of like device management with like your iOS devices, I strongly recommend you get a PowerBook or an iBook G4, some kind of G4 machine, because as far as I'm aware of, the oldest iTunes that supports iOS devices is iTunes 6, and I'm not exactly sure because I haven't been able to find any copies of it online. I'm not sure if iTunes 6 supports the G3 CPU. Either way, though, this machine is perfect for listening to music with. The speakers on this machine are absolutely great. They're honestly better than my MacBook Pro late 2011. I'll let you guys take a quick listen of them. As nice as the speakers are in this machine, I've heard a lot of people say that the speakers in this machine does, like, you know, just literally crap out and they just blow really easily. And I have made these speakers crackle on this machine. It's not very difficult. When you're playing music that's too bassy and just too loud in general for these speakers and you push them past their limits, they will crackle and it sounds really nasty and you're just like, ew, cringe. I'll play an example of that. Okay, so we're gonna take the volume here and max that bad boy out right there. And I'm scared for this computer, honestly. And we're going to play Mask Off.
Oh, there it is. Here. Promise, I swear. Very bit. Yo.
Oh, God. That is what I'm talking about. Next up for this iMac is the DVD player. Now, in certain select iMac G3s, they do come with a DVD drive. This one here is lucky enough to have a DVD drive here. Obviously, it does have the DVD player app. And we got ourselves a handy DVD. Yes, I know this is from my childhood. Pop out this bad boy of a DVD here, Kung Fu Panda, and go ahead and insert it in. Right into that wonderful optical drive, and you will be playing a movie at like no other. It just takes a little bit to load, since, you know, these machines are not the fastest in the world. And right here you have a full-fledged DVD player with that high resolution CRT monitor, but hey, you get movies, you get DVDs. Now, there is one thing worth mentioning here with these iMac G3s, and this applies to all slot loading iMac G3s. Obviously, the way that these discs go in and out is that there's a little motor that pulls them in and out. That's common sense. But as these machines get older and older, those little ejector things just get worn out and they just don't work as good. The one in mine is kind of shady. Sometimes it's really good, other times it isn't. So we'll go ahead and click eject and we'll see if it actually ejects it. A lot of times you kind of have to help it out in here. So see, like that, that's what I mean by. So you just kind of gotta help it out. But either way, you can watch DVDs. Number 3 on my list is word processing. Yes, Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Entourage, and Messenger, MSN Messenger, in fact. The entire Microsoft Office is on PowerPC. System requirements: keyboard, mouse, and computer. Now, if you run Microsoft Office on your iMac G3, it will hopefully look better. Mine's a big cluttered mess because, you know, the wonderful, absolutely wonderful resolution we have here. But cancel this, and then before you know it, you'll be typing away your newest document on your iMac G3 here. If you're like, say, a mom, because my mom has a MacBook, the original MacBook, the Core Duo one with 10.5 on it, and she uses it purely for word processing. So I know there's someone out there that could use this machine just for word processing, and you know what? It will do you just fine. The same thing applies to also PowerPoint, Excel, Entourage, and I really don't know about Messenger and who actually uses that. My number 4 reason for using this iMac, which actually I will be using this iMac for a lot when I get rid of my Windows 10 PC, is actually to get photos off of old cameras. Now, back in the day of the early 2000s with the PowerPC Max, iPhoto was a pretty popular thing to use with your digital cameras, so I will be connecting this digital camera here. It is an old 2003 Sony camera that actually takes pretty decent photos. I might post them on Instagram and Twitter. I'm not sure. Either way, though, we can connect it to the I just bumped my camera. We can connect it to the computer here. And the memory stick will show up on this computer as well. Just give it a moment or two. The SD card is showing up on here. We can go DCIM and go ahead and view and go ahead and just do whatever with the photo, whatever you want with it. In this case, so we will be using iPhoto to do this. So iPhoto. And you can go ahead and import your thing. Do you want to use... not right now though, but we can go ahead and use iPhoto, to import our photos. Right here in iPhoto, it does recognize the camera. Unfortunately, my resolution is complete garbage, so we're going to have to do 1024 by 768, and you're just going to have to live with these flashes. I'm sorry. Just live with them for a little bit. Anyway, so here's the Sony camera right here, and if we click import, it will import the 2 photos I took. I would have taken more photos, but the camera battery died before I could take any more, so import them. Importing, it may be slow depending on your camera, since these hard drives, these IDE hard drives, are not that fast. So right here we can do stuff like editing, enhancing, retouching, black and white. Things may be slow on this computer, of course, but hey, you can use your old photos from your old camera to edit on your old computer. Now, video editing on the iMac G3 is kind of a joke in 2017, or that's kind of a joke on any PowerPC Mac in 2017. But you can use the iMac G3 for some very, very, very light video editing, and by that I mean either A, using an old digital camera you have lying around that records at like 360p, or if you just have a bunch of Apple devices, then hey, you can definitely edit video from an iPhone 3GS. Importing videos onto your iMac G3 won't take too long. Actually, that might be a lie. Depending on your video, I should say. 3GS video isn't that, big. It's only 480p video. So connecting it, make sure you have image capture, which yes, is a built-in macOS app. Go ahead and plug your iPhone in. Charging is not supported with this accessory. Lies. I see it right here. Image capture is a lot different on 10.4, but whatever. Download to, I want to do desktop, so we'll do the desktop here. I like the desktop. And then we don't want to do any of that, but download all in this case. Oh, I still have all the photos and videos from my previous thing. Cool. I guess we'll be using all that to edit with today. But yeah, so using image capture, you can take all the video from your iPhone or other digital camera device straight from USB and onto your iMac. Of course, as I said, the IDE hard drives are slow, but they do get the job done. Again, you will have to live with the silly little flash for this. You can go ahead and leave the video if you can't handle the flash, if you, for whatever reason, have epilepsy, or if it just triggers you that bad. So going into iMovie here, you can edit on here, is supported and everything, and if I'm correct, this is, I'll get back to you guys when I know what iMovie version this is. This is iMovie 4 here, so it is a very old version of iMovie 4, but is plenty fine for the purposes we will be doing here. So to import your files, it is quite easy. Just go into File, Import, and just a little mention, or a little thing I want to mention here, it is going to take way longer to import the files into iMovie, because the way that this iPhone 3GS records video, it has to basically encode all the video into a supported format, since the iPhone 3GS records in a, I remember someone explaining it to me, and I know I'm going to trigger a ton of people, but the iMac G3 doesn't have hardware acceleration to handle the type of video that's about to edit, so iMovie has to reformat it into its own format to be able to handle. Right here, we'll click open, and for an eternity, we will wait for the 3 videos to import into iMovie. I will time-lapse this because it takes that long. So I'm going to say that it took about 10 minutes to put this video into the little render window, I don't know what you'd call it, to be able to work on the video, because I started the process and then started the 4S timer, so it was generally speaking about 10 minutes, and that was just for 3 25-second videos that I recorded on iPhone 3GS. So if you're doing much longer videos and trying to put it on here, you'll see that it really does take a long time to put videos into iMovie. Now, if I tried editing video on camera while live action, it would take way too long and I'd have to talk way too much. So I'm just going to do another time lapse of me editing this video. I'm just going to do really random stuff with it, just throw in a bunch of titles and text and all these filters and effects and all that stuff. So don't expect this video to be at quality at all. I'm just showing you what you can do on an iMac G3. Alright, so I have successfully edited my entire clips, but you know what? I'm going to do a little spin-off and ask for you guys on Twitter to send me some clips. So you know what? We're going to go on the Twitters right now, and let's just give you guys, like, something. Like, I'm just going to tell you, I'm just going to go on Twitter here, okay? So your loss. Your loss. Let's see. There's my good old friend Mirko. Let's see. Hey, comma, send me some sample footage for me to edit on my iMac G3, exclamation mark. Make it only like 15 seconds though, period. Oh, Siri. There we go. Right there you can see the tweet. Tweet. And let's see who actually responds. Alright, kiddos, the part we have been waiting for, the most strenuous part, is the export time. So we are going to I don't even remember how to do this. Is it save project? Or no, it's share. Share this project, and we don't want it to be that way. We want it to be in QuickTime. And compress the movie, full quality DV, and it's going to be about 270 megabytes, and begin the sharing process. I actually decided not to do a time lapse because it was going by too fast. I guess it decided to go by and, you know, render the video pretty quickly, surprisingly, but it was only like a minute long for the video and stuff. So that is my top 5 uses for an iMac G3. I will put the test video that I edited and recorded, and a couple other people helped give me some sample footage. You can all check it out at the very end of this video. So thank you guys for watching. I truly hope you guys enjoyed, because I did take some time to make this video. Thank you for watching again. Go ahead and follow my Twitter if you'd like. It's at the Apple Buyer. No spaces will be in the left corner of the video. Again, thank you for watching, and peace. Some video recordings. Look at this. Beautiful camera. Beautiful earpods. Beautiful thing. Beautiful. Beautiful MacBook Pro. And sexy, sexy Kung Fu Panda. Furthermore, look at the beautiful fish that is like glowing and like not looking healthy. iPod Touch first generation. PlayStation 1 that you can barely see. PS3, PS4 Pro, 2 iBook G4s, DVD player, prison TV that is clear, and really tiny flat-inch TV. Going outside of my room. Hi. Hi.